I'll be honest, I couldn't narrow it down to just one person who I felt was a mentor that completely overruled my life. I think it was actually a handful of mentors, and I think even though I've only lived on this earth for 20 years, I feel like I've had enough mentors to really have a chock-a-block group of mentors that have put together a great time in my life, because I thought there were so many that put together who I was today that I couldn't pick out one. So I thought I'd go through my life and all the mentors in it and just give a few comments on each. Starting off with parents. Mum and dad. Very different roles. My dad is very logical and very grounded. When I said, I want to do writing for a living, his first response was, how can you monetize it? Rather than go write your favorite story. So he helped me with the logistical side of it. He got me thinking about ways that I can turn my passion into something I could actually do and make money off of. Because I'd come to him, hey Dad, look, I've wrote a new play. And he'd be like, well, that's not going to make any money. So he definitely grounded me in a business sense. Whereas my mum, it's more of an emotional family relationship. Spend a lot of time with her, organise meetings with the family, and she keeps us all together. And she's reminded me never to forget my family. And it's great that I still live with them all day, every day. And because of her, she keeps us all together. Next, I'm going to go right down to when I was like 5, 6 years old, and my first ever teacher, Miss Croucher, who I can remember. Now, I think she was a great teacher because she made me fall in love with school. Beforehand, I didn't really have a relationship with a teacher that I really appreciated, and she just made me feel like I could talk to her one-to-one. And then a year after we finished having her, in whatever year it was about year 3 of school, 6 or 7, she died of cancer. And this taught me that loss and acceptance was something that I would have to deal with from a young age. And that came as a shock to the whole class. And I and many others who had formed a very close relationship with her were immediately thrown into this. But we celebrated her for the good times rather than looking at it for what it was. And that was a really early experience for our class and actually brought us together as a group because we all loved her. Next was a guy you'll never have heard of called Nathan Wells. He was a Lego animator. He animated Lego from his basement, and he was a 40-year-old man. And you might think that sounds like the saddest thing ever. But that's what got me into filmmaking. I was making these terrible animations as a kid. They were awful. 10 frames a second, I was using blue tack as water. I was singing my own theme songs. But that's what got me into filmmaking. And I'm currently studying film production with these two beautiful people over here. And I wouldn't have got there if it wasn't for that 40-year-old man in his basement. Next is my teacher, Miss Smith, from secondary school. Discipline was the thing I learned from her. She was a teacher that could make everyone quiet. Even the kids that were the loudest, the moment she said quiet and time to learn, it was time to learn. And I learned a respect for education through her. And also, I found a love for poetry and eloquent language. I never really considered myself much of a linguist or a literature person, but she actually made me enjoy poetry, and actually she made people that went home and did nothing but play video games enjoy poetry. And I think if you can do that, you're some kind of superhuman person. Next was a man called Cy Porter, a man I've never even met. Cy, I followed his novel writing tutorials for 4 years in secondary school. And he never met me, he didn't even know I was a fan. His videos got 20 views a video, and I was one of those 20, and I watched every single one. And I wrote my first ever novel, never published it or anything, but it was the basis for my screenwriting and playwriting that I now do today. And I still actually go back to his videos all the time, even though I started watching them when I was like 12. Next is my lecturer, who was actually a lecturer at this college, Canterbury College, Zoran Tesic. He is the mad scientist of filmmaking. He just gave such an energy and passion. One time I was filming a lightsaber duel as my end of year college project. Yes, that's what we actually got graded on. And he just came in and he grabbed my lightsaber props and just grabbed my friend who was going to be doing the fight with me. I went, no, you need more physicality. It's your job to move out of the way of my swing. Don't pussyfoot around it. And he just swung at him. And from that moment on, I knew this was a lecturer I was going to love learning from. Next is a guy called Paul Devitt. He runs a physio place in Canterbury, and when I suffered from back problems, he really helped me understand the health of my body. I hadn't ever really focused on it. I played football a lot as a kid, never really paid much attention after I stopped playing football due to those problems. But he actually made me love yoga. I've been doing yoga for a handful of years, and since my back problems have stopped, I haven't needed to do it so much. but I had to take so much advice from him. And when I would go in and he would give me treatments and new exercises, we would talk. And this was right as I'd moved to Canterbury. And this allowed me to start talking in this new city where I'd actually felt a little bit uncomfortable when I first arrived. So not only did he help me with my health, but actually made me feel like I could talk aloud to people. Next is Paul Skinner, who's my theatre writer. He got me into theatre writing, and now next month I've got my first ever play put on. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have even started theatre writing. And every time I bring a script, he's like, "Damn it, Max, why are you not putting these on?" And he's forcing me to make them better and better, and he's not letting me settle for where I am at the minute. And that kind of pushing from a theatre aspect, which is something, again, like poetry, never thought I'd enjoy till I met him. Next is Leo Gura. I learned philosophy skills from him. And after that, I met Jack Pachuta. He's an American-based crazy murder mystery company owner. I Skyped the guy because I was interested in murder mystery writing, and I launched last year a murder mystery business, which I ran for an entire year. And I wouldn't have done that if he hadn't have got me going with murder mystery writing. I followed some of his templates. He was doing it in America, and I was doing my thing here in the UK. And he was kind of a mad scientist of murder mystery. Next was Julian Cowell Hill. Now, earlier in 2018, I started suffering from tinnitus, which is a loud ringing in your ear. And he explained to me through videos, again, a man I've never met, how I need to focus on being calm. Because tinnitus is like a Chinese finger trap, where the harder you pull, the worse it gets. But if you just relax and let go, it can calm. So the reason I feel actually okay and comfortable to stand in front of all of you is because of him. Because now I don't let my heart rate get as high as I used to. And now that I'm calm just day to day, or more so, because I'm not focusing on the noise, I feel much calmer standing in front of you. And the last couple, being here at Toastmasters. Paul Kidman, someone you guys some of you have met, was the first person who introduced me to this, and I met him in a pub randomly. He told me to come play badminton with him, I played badminton with him. He told me to come to Toastmasters, and now I'm here. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be standing in front of you delivering the speech. So I hope you've enjoyed hearing about all of the people that have made me exactly who I am today, and these are all the names that make up me. Thank you.